A lot of stuff went down this past weekend. Sooners picked up a commit and hopefully some great news as well, as it seems like somebody's trolling for the fun of it. But we're going to dive into all of that. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank y'all for pulling up to the channel. This video is powered by our partners over at BetUS. Check them out. They're hooking up the gamer. 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150. So, 23rd. Sooners got some early Christmas out of it with a commitment from a tight end, nonetheless. Now, this one isn't probably, I guess, the sexiest pickup, but I think it's a solid pickup for what Oklahoma's trying to do, because a theme that I've been hearing from a lot of folks that have been pinging me in the comments section of these videos is, why aren't we developing internally? Well, I think we are. I think we're just dealing with a little bit of, injury situations. And so at tight end is one of those. You still got Cade McIntyre. You still got Caden Helms. You've also got Devon Mitchell. They're all still in the cut. Bauer Sharp's gone. Jake Roberts is graduating. So I think I still got Hampton Fay. I think he's still on the roster as well. He's a former quarterback from Michigan State that's converted to tight end. And because of that, you're trying to figure out who's ready to play. But Devon was a freshman. He's 17 years old. He came in as an early transfer. Not transfer. He came in as an early enrollee. And he also graduated a year early. So because of that, you got to get him, acclimated to things. And yeah, he just was not ready to play yet. But it appears he may be going more that direction. Y'all looked at the depth chart. Looks like him like at 289. That's a typo, by the way. But nonetheless, they've got some tight ends there. They just got to get going. But let's talk about Carson Kent. I actually like this pickup from Kennesaw State. He was an all-conference member at Conference USA. 6'4", 240, nice size tight end. Looks like he can block pretty well when I looked at his grades. He had, 18 catches for 217 yards, 3 touchdowns. So consistent with being able to catch and move. But I think the one thing to understand about the tight end role here at Oklahoma, especially going forward, doesn't feel like it's a heavy priority for Ben Arbuckle's system. Thinking he's going to leverage a lot more wide receivers, which is why we're filling up on those wide receivers. But I like the Kent pickup. I think that he's a solid addition for the room. He only has 2 years left of eligibility, so he doesn't stifle really the development from like Cade McIntyre as well as Devon Mitchell. And then Trinae Washington, who's also technically a tight end, but can play on defense as well. It just depends on where they want to use them. But you've got a few components there, and then with Trinae, you can kind of throw him out there similar to the way you can Ivan Carry-On with their big frames. You can have them play more of a slot or even outside wide receiver, because Washington has some speed. I watched him play at Carl Albert, so that's not something I'm truly concerned about. But I think everybody's a little bit more concerned about tight end than they should be, especially if we're not going to use very many of them. Doesn't really do much for you if you really think about it. But I don't expect that to be the last pickup. The portal does not close to the 29th, and the playoff teams do not, their players get like 5 days after their game is over as far as elimination goes. So you'll probably see a few more players hit the portal. We'll jump on that in a minute. Let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Got the bowl game coming up on Friday. And shout out to our partners over at BetUS. They are hooking y'all up. 150% bonus on your first deposit of $2,000. 125% on your second and third up to $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150. And right now, Oklahoma is sitting here 3-point favorite. So the line dropped after all the transfers began. But looks like Vegas is still feeling like Oklahoma State has a really good chance of covering this. And if you want to jump in on this action, you can, because BetUS will take care of you. They also give you gambler's insurance, 10% back on your net losses twice a year, so you can get back to playing the game. And they're going to hook you up when you first sign up. 150% bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your second and third up to $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150, BetUS, where the game begins. So as we look at this, Had a little trolling happen, but I think this is actually still some really good news. So if you checked out me and John's episode today on Locked On Sooners, we talked about the JUCO ruling from Diego Pavia's, injunction. The NCAA is appealing it, but as of right now, the NCAA is giving out one more year of eligibility to transfer players from JUCO. That's pretty huge because you got a couple of guys from Devon Sears to Kendall Dobie who could potentially come back and play. And I think that's actually pretty darn good because you could use a Kendall Dobie possibly in 26, depending on how he comes back from injury in 25. Gives you a nice veteran to play. And then Sears gets one more year if he decides that he wants to return to Oklahoma. And I wouldn't see why they wouldn't take him, wouldn't bring him back in and have him stuff some in the middle. But whenever he got in, he played well. But then Oklahoma dropped a couple of graphics. They dropped one for Kip Lewis, job's not done, which feels like an indication that Kip's coming back. And I don't think anybody thought that Kip was leaving at all. But the other one that jumped out, and granted, this did get deleted, was R. Mason Thomas also had a graphic that came out. I'm going to show you what this graphic looks like now because I took a picture of said graphic. That way I would have it. But right afterwards, R. Mason Thomas hit us with the Roro. Type look, Roro. And I think it's hilarious that he did that because a lot of people have been, in every way, shape, or form, freaking out about it. I think he's trolling, personally. But I also don't know. 100%. But he put that on his story on IG, as y'all can see. Look, I expect R. Mason Thomas to come back. I think that he's going to get a really good grade. But I think one more year here in the SEC does nothing but help his draft stock. He's had a fantastic season, eating folks alive over the year against Tulane, Alabama. He's just been everywhere. So to me, come back, play one more year, really up your stock and show that you can stay consistent here in the SEC. And I think teams are going to definitely come after you. But at the same time, I totally make sense if R. Mason Thomas goes pro. I do think that this is good news for Oklahoma. Because, of course, like I said, Kip was going to come back. Kip is your de facto leader here. You can also see that R. Mason would be huge on the defensive line with PG Adebawore as well as with Danny Okoye building up. Nigel Smith decided to troll a few of y'all and said breaking news that he's, I don't know why I think he's going anywhere, but he's just moving lockers, which is even more hilarious. Dudes are having fun right now. So enjoy it, especially if you go look at the OU Twitter account or X account, whatever, Xbird. You've got Jaron Kannick running it, and he's really having fun. So just understand it that he's having a blast doing that. So let me know what y'all think. Do you think R. Mason Thomas coming back? I think he is. I actually have him and Dominic on my list of people coming back. It just makes a lot more sense. Not that they won't get solid grades. They'll probably get drafted day 2. But I think that if they stay or go, they're going to be going from either lower day 2 to higher day 2, depending on the performance. And to me, I would totally like to take both of them back. That shores up that defense because all you did at that point, you're losing Billy and Danny and Dejon Terry. And then, of course, your old head edges and Ethan Downs and Trace Ford. Bringing him back as a veteran, and Caden Woolard, bringing back him as a veteran presence does nothing but help build on that. So, whenever from y'all, hop in the comments. Yep, it's been a few days. Enjoyed some time off. I have some more videos coming up in the next couple of days. We're going to talk about this Navy game. We've got to prepare ourselves for it. Who's playing, who's not. We'll also take a look at our transfer portal so far. 8 players currently in, 24 out. We'll talk about how this is going to affect us. But I think after the game makes the most sense because I think that's when we'll see the final wave of Gons and then the next wave of those coming in. So keep your eyes open. We'll talk about that more. YouTube says check out one of these videos. Make sure y'all do that. Shout out to BetUS. They're hooking up the gamer. 150% bonus on your first deposit of $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150. We will chop it up with all of you in a couple days. Merry Christmas. Peace.